Hello and welcome to another episode of Sportstar Extras. We're here to discuss the IPL match between Kings 11 Punjab and Mumbai Indians, a comprehensive win for Mumbai Indians which takes them to the top of the table.
The hit for me would be Mumbai's low middle order, especially Hardik and Karan Pollard. We've seen time and again that these two have bailed Mumbai out of a sticky situation, and once again today, when after the fall of Rohit Sharma's wicket, the run rate was sort of dragging a little. These two came to the fore with their power hitting, and boy did they hit the bowlers all around the park. Mumbai collected 104 of the last 6 overs. And this is a trend that we've seen over the seasons and this season as well. Even in the previous game against RCB, which they lost in the super over, we saw how Ishan Kishan and Karan Pollard once again through their counter-attacking knock brought Mumbai back into contention. So this is one aspect of Bombay's Bombay's cricket that has held them in good stead in IPL over the years, and I don't see why this won't prove to be very crucial going forward again. So that's a big hit. What about yours?
And I'm going with the Mumbai left-arm spinner Krunal Pandya. When we talk about spinners, we only associate traditional values like flight, turn, googly, Chinaman and these things. But a very underrated quality for spinners or even any other cricketer is intelligence. That's what Krunal Pandya showed today by keeping it well outside off, flirting with that wide marker there. He making it almost impossible for the batsman to swing him to the leg, which is a preferred slog shot for all T20 batsmen. And he is just right out of off stump. I mean, he did concede a few wides to Nicholas Pooran, but for the most part, he's bowling Yorkers on the 6th off stump. Now, try and imagine what are your scoring areas if he gets it right. What can it possibly be? You can probably top it to deep fine leg. You got a fielder there. You try to late cut it. You have a third man there, or even a deep third man. So your scoring shots are almost zero. You'll have to walk all the way across off if you want to hit it to the leg, which is nearly impossible. And he did it to the right batsman. He did it to batsmen like Maxwell and Pooran, who prefer to hit the slog speed. Whereas when it came to Karun Nair, he kept it on the stumps and he got him bowled. So tremendous performance, Krunal Pandya. Thinking cricketer. These are the things that can win you matches. Thinking cricketer. 4 overs, 27, 1 wicket. Fantastic performance.
Very wily bowler. Someone who doesn't get talked about too much, you say, in star-studded Bombay lineup. So clearly a big hit.
Moving on to the misses, Ayan, who do you have as the miss?
That would be Karun Nair for me. He's been a constant feature in the Kings lineup at number 3, but clearly he's struggling this season. And I don't think you can get a very long rope, especially in a format like T20, especially in a tournament like the IPL. And they had someone like Deepak Hooda warming the bench, who in the past has done well. He was with Sunrisers Hyderabad. He's got a good record. So there's no harm in swapping Karun for Deepak and that would be because Karun's form obviously has deserted him at this point. And while KL and Mayank do bulk of the scoring at the top of the order, to not have your number 3 getting big runs, especially when the runs have dried up at the top for number 1 and number 2, can be a problem going deep into the tournament. So that was a miss for me. What about
slotting Chris Gayle in maybe as number 3 even? Is that a possibility you feel?
Chris Gayle's absence has raised a few eyebrows. People have been wondering why Gayle hasn't played, given his record and the entertainment value that he brings to the table. And I would love to see him in the playing 11. In fact, I'm a big advocate of Gayle replacing Nicholas Pooran, who except today's quickfire 40 and that exceptional piece of fielding the other night, hasn't done much to justify his spot. So with Gayle, while consistency has been an issue, but he does tend to get the team off to a flying start all the time. And he hasn't played a game since Jan 15, 2020. That could also be one of the reasons. They could swap Pooran for Gayle and maybe open with Gale because if Gale is in the 11, his spot really is the opener slot. So maybe Gale or a Mayank could come one down.
Yeah. For my miss, Ayan, I'm going with bowling K. Gautam at the death. Specifically the 20th over of the Mumbai innings. We are not questioning his value as a T20 cricketer because he is an absolute match winner for Karnataka or even for Kings XI Punjab as a T20 cricketer because he bowls well, he's a big hitter and he's a safe fielder. He's won many matches for Karnataka, there's no disputing that. But as a death bowler, today he was terrible, just terrible. Because if you are a spinner, your margin for error at the death is so tiny. Inches.
Especially against Pollard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you are a spinner, you have to bowl. Every ball has to be a Yorker, or else you have to do a Krunal Pandya and keep it wide and full, almost Yorker on the sixth stump. Those are your only options. And today, K. Gautam bowled the easiest sort of deliveries that all batsmen at all levels would love to face, and that is overpitched on in, overpitched on off, overpitched a little outside off, flight and overpitched will not work in T20 cricket, especially at the death. You saw what happened. Hardik Pandya, straight six, then took a single. Pollard, straight six, overpitched. It was embarrassing. What did he think would happen? That you'd bowl overpitch and the batsman won't middle it and you'll get caught at long gone. No way. If you get any sort of contact,
he did look very clueless, halfway through the over because the way Pollard got stuck into him, it was just
absolutely right, Ayan. That was scary. You bowl one overpitched ball, as a bowler, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I need to correct the length. Either pull it back a little or not even pull it back a little. Just fire it in, bowl a Yorker. But he did it 4 times in 1 over, 4 sixes, 25 runs. All the momentum that Kings XI Punjab had built for 19 overs was lost. And you saw KL Rahul, the captain, his Karnataka teammate coming up to him and trying to give him some advice. It didn't work. He bowled the same thing. So K. Gautam as a death bowler, at least today, oh man, it was a horror show. Next, we're looking forward to the next match, that is Friday's match between Chennai Super Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad. In terms of a contest within a contest, who do you have, Aya?
It has to be CSK's batting. Well, from 1 to 11, none of them have fired. I know that's a bit harsh as far as someone like Duplessis is concerned because he's got the runs, but they just haven't proved to be enough. They have lacked the steam in the batting department, as Mahendra Singh Dhoni very eloquently put it, you would say, in the last encounter. With the return of, say, a Bravo or an Ambati Raidu, or perhaps both, that could be fixed. Raidu has been a very important part of the top order. He's someone who is capable of scoring runs quickly, and so is Bravo with both bat and ball. So he can lend that X factor that we all feel is terribly missing from CSK's campaign this year. What about you, Ashwin?
A related point for me, Ayan, you were speaking about how CSK's batting is struggling. To make matters worse, they're going up against one of the best bowling attacks in the IPL. SRH with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Rashid Khan, and even left-arm seamer Natarajan, they are like an ideal T20 bowling lineup. So, you have Natarajan, who showed that he can bowl 6 Yorkers in an over. How invaluable is it for a T20 bowler to be able to do that? Rashid Khan, class T20 bowler. You can't pick him. Even now, after all these years, IPL batsmen are unable to pick him. And of course, you have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Everybody knows what he's capable of with old ball, new ball, everything. So if you look from top to bottom, there is no space where Chennai can look to score, because at the top of the order you have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and then middle overs you have Rashid Khan, and then death overs in Natarajan with his Yorkers. So where are the scoring options? Much less for a struggling CSK batting lineup. If SRH is on point, I think we can expect to see Chennai being bowled out or restricted to a very low score.
Yeah, well, that's quite possible. I mean, as you very correctly pointed out, it's a brittle attack at the moment. It's an batting attack that lacks confidence. They gain a lot of confidence from Mahendra Singh Dhoni and the way he marshals his troops and the way he bats. And Dhoni's radar has been off as well with the bat. So that's one more thing that I reckon Chennai would be hoping that Dhoni comes good, because once he does, then it just works magic for the entire team. And
what is Dhoni coming good, Ayan? I'd like to bring up this topic now that we are on it with the bat.
Yeah.
Dhoni coming good is 30 of 25 not out, or do you mean the 2005 Dhoni, which is 100 of 48? What is Dhoni coming good? I'd like to know what.
I honestly feel that 2005 Dhoni is gone. He's not coming back. So 100 of 48, well, it's out of contention. But I mean, I 40 of 25 maybe. do you really think it's asking for too much right now?
No, it's not. It's asking for too little, if you ask me. I mean, unless you're chasing 140, what is 40 of 25 worth? It's not worth anything.
Yeah,
it's not worth anything.
So you think he should be batting up the order at number 4? I mean, this is a debate that has been going on for donkey's years now. But do you think he really should bat up the order?
The issue here is not so much his position. The issue here is what he wants to do when he bats. See, even when he was batting down the order in the early match in the IPL, when he wanted to hit, he hit 4 sixes, clean sixes. So, I mean, if you're willing to do that at 6 or 7, that's an ideal spot for you. If you want to come up, do come up, but don't do the 40 of 30. Play attacking. That's what the team needs from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then CSK does. And I think with the mega auction coming up, we don't know yet when it's going to happen and in what shape and form it's going to happen. I think CSK would want to look at its resources and would want to revamp the team and so rework its ideology a bit, because it served them well for a very long time, but clearly it's not working at the moment. So yeah, let's see how this contest pans out.